For the longest time, interacting with an AI has been a lot like texting. You type a question, it types an answer. Simple. But what happens when that AI can not only read what you type, but actually see a picture you show it, or hear your voice, or watch a video? We are on the edge of a truly massive leap here, moving from an AI that just knows words to one that can perceive worlds. So how are we doing it? Let's dive in.
All right, so first up, let's unpack what it even means for an AI to have senses. We're going to get into this core idea of multimodality and really see why it's about to be a total game changer for, well, pretty much everything.
And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. Even before GPT-5 was released, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was setting some gigantic expectations. I mean, PhD-level abilities? That's the promise. But to get to that level, an AI needs to do more than just read books. It has to understand the world in a much, much richer way. This right here is the perfect way to get the fundamental difference. A text-only AI knows about the Mona Lisa. It can pull up facts from its database, tell you who painted it, when, all of that. But a multimodal AI, it can actually look at the Mona Lisa. It can see the brush strokes, analyze that famous smile, the composition, and then it combines that visual perception with everything it knows. It's literally the difference between reading a Wikipedia article about a painting and standing right in front of it. So this is the absolute key point to remember. Multimodality isn't just that an AI can handle different types of files. The magic word is simultaneously. It's about the AI processing text and images and audio all at once, weaving them together to build a much deeper, more contextual understanding of what's going on. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? How do you teach a model that thinks in words how to understand a world that's made of pixels? It's time to pop the hood and take a look inside the engine room. The whole challenge really is a translation problem. A large language model, or LLM, is fluent in its own language of tokens, which are basically just pieces of text. So to make it see, you have to find a way to convert an image into a vocabulary it can actually read. You have to turn pixels into a new kind of word. And this process breaks down into 3 basic steps. First, the image gets chopped up into a grid of smaller patches, kind of like puzzle pieces. Second, a specialized AI, a vision transformer, analyzes each little patch and turns it into a long string of numbers, which we call an embedding. And finally, this clever little component called a projector acts like a universal translator. It takes those visual numbers and puts them into the exact same format as the language model's text tokens. Suddenly, the AI can read the puzzle pieces just like they were words. Now, once you have these visual tokens, there are 2 main ways to feed them into the AI. The simple way is just to mix the image and text tokens together right at the beginning. Easy enough, but it can be a bit clunky. The more sophisticated way, though, is called cross-attention. It injects that visual information directly into the AI's brain while it's already thinking. It's definitely more complex, but it's also way more efficient. So we've got the how down, but who is actually out there building this future? Because let me tell you, this isn't just some academic exercise. This is a full-blown high-stakes race between the biggest names in tech. Google was one of the first to really go all in on this with their Gemini model. And when you look at their timeline, you can see their core strategy pretty clearly. They wanted to build a model that was multimodal from its very first day of training, not as an afterthought. The goal was to have it learn about text and images and audio all at the same time right from the start. And this really sets up the clash of the titans. Google's Gemini versus OpenAI's GPT-5. You can see their completely different philosophies here. Gemini was designed from birth to be multimodal. GPT-5, on the other hand, evolved from the most powerful text models in the world. It was already a genius, and then it was given the sense of sight. It's a fascinating contrast. One model was born with all its senses, the other learned them over time. But of course, all the tech specs and design philosophies in the world don't mean a thing until these systems are actually released into the wild. So when people finally got their hands on these next-gen AIs, what did they think? What was the verdict? Well, the initial reaction to GPT-5 was, let's just say, complicated. After all that PhD-level hype, the reality just felt more like a nice upgrade than a revolution. MIT Technology Review really nailed it, saying it was a smoother experience for sure, but maybe not that massive, transformative leap everyone was waiting for. And oh boy, users were very specific with their feedback. The words that kept coming up were things like flat and uncreative. Some people even said it felt lobotomized compared to its more lively predecessor, GPT-4o.
My personal favorite was the tone being compared to an overworked secretary. A huge part of this problem was apparently a new technical feature, a faulty auto switcher that was supposed to pick the right model for the job, but just kept failing, leading to really inconsistent answers. But, personality quirks were just the beginning of the story. The real shocker came almost immediately.
It took just 1 day, less than 24 hours. That's how long it took for security researchers to announce that they had successfully bypassed GPT-5's safety features. This immediately set off all kinds of alarm bells and raised a huge question. As these models get more powerful and more autonomous, are their safety nets even close to keeping up? And that really brings us to the final big question here. Giving AI senses like sight and hearing, it's a monumental step forward. It holds this incredible promise of an AI that can finally understand our human world on our terms. But, as we've seen, it also brings with it all new kinds of complexities, new frustrations, and brand new dangers. So, as AI gains its senses, will it actually get better at understanding our world, or will it just create more sophisticated ways to misunderstand it completely? That, I think, is the question we're all waiting to have answered.